I am Shao. Come, accompany me on my journey to crush all and dominate the stolen lands.
Our story started.
Quiet! My tale begins at the court of the Eldori. Relentless killers who shed enough blood to be granted nobility. Their mustering call is a sign of interesting things to unfold.
Greetings, everyone. I am Sword Lord Jamandi Aldori, and this is Lord Mayor Yosef Salimius of Rostov. Welcome to my mansion. Now, to the point. South of here, just beyond Brevoy's border, lies a region known as the Stolen Lands. This is disputed territory, and while it's long been claimed by nearby states, it's never been truly taken. I won't bore you with the legal technicalities. Suffice to say that anyone with enough courage and power to seize the stolen lands and name themselves Baron or Baroness, claiming dominion, well, none of the neighboring states would be able to challenge it. Unfortunately, one serious obstacle stands between you and this title. A gang of bandits holds sway in the stolen lands. Their chief, who they call the Stag Lord, considers himself the rightful owner of these lands, and no one has yet been able to challenge his power. Bring me his head, and you'll be able to return to the Stolen Lands as their legal ruler. Any questions?
Of course there were questions, but I did not expect them to get answered just yet. Except one. At such grandiose promises, one better gets specifics. What rewards can we expect exactly?
And what reward would you seek beyond a noble title and your own lands?
We'll absorb the costs of preparing and equipping your expeditions. Once you return victorious, Rostov will also allocate you a significant sum to provide financial support for you to establish your country. Essentially, we'll help you build your capital. I hope such a reward is satisfactory.
Words, words, words. Significant, financial. I can't fill my belly with pretty words.
Of course. There will also be an official banquet held in your honor. All of Rostov's high society will gather to celebrate your feat.
Now you're talking.
It is clear as day.
Excellent. You venture forth tomorrow. For now, you can take some time to get to know one another better. Or you can head straight to your guest rooms to get some rest.
Hi, my name's Lindsay. I'm a bard, though this is my first real adventure. So, shall we go teach this Stag Lord a lesson?
She probably wants something. Well, better not burn any bridges just yet. I am Shao. Pleased to meet you.
Likewise. Actually, I also wanted to ask you something.
And here we go.
How do you feel about this Tartuccio fellow? I think he's pretty obnoxious personally. He appointed himself head of the team, and he's just after the Baron's crown, or whatever it is barons wear. Doesn't matter. I don't like him. I think you should be team leader. When I first saw you, I couldn't help but think, now here's a real hero. Someone who'll be praised in poems and songs. This is the person I'll write my book about.
I was still wondering about the composition of my rivals, so I was listening half-heartedly. Now she's mumbling about heroes. This is nonsense.
It's not nonsense. Let me explain. You know what the trouble with most heroes' biographies is? They're always written years later, based on the tales of, best case, people who saw things from the outside. Worst case, someone heard about it from their brother, who heard it from their friend, who heard it from their cousin, and so on, adding a new batch of lies each time. Every time I read about a heroic journey, I think to myself, why didn't they just bring a bard with them to write it all down properly? And then I thought, I could be that bard. I just needed to find a suitable hero and volunteer to follow along on their glorious adventure. A great plan, huh? And here we are, with a heroic journey lying before us. Who's going to be the hero? Some dwarf who keeps muttering about how we'll all die? Or maybe that horrific Scythe lady. Or God's forbid, Tartuccio. No way.
Part of a good judgment is admitting when you were wrong. The more I listen to the pipsqueak, the more I realize she's right. My legend is worth a proper account. And this one looked eager enough that I do not have to pay her for the privilege. Not a bad plan. It is settled then. I'll accomplish the feats. You will write them down.
Deal. All right. I'm going to my room to write about tonight. See you in the morning.
I spend the night thinking about the number of my future concubines. Too many, and that is a world of trouble. Too few, and they will think I am too weak. My contemplation was disturbed by the door getting kicked wide open.
Help! Help!
Who dares to disturb me? Oh, it's you. Leave me be.
You can't stay here! The mansion's under attack! Some villains broke in and started killing everyone. I barely made it. Hurry, we have to help the guards fight off the attackers or we'll all be cut down one by one.
Well, good thing I sleep with my boots and weapons on.
Just in time. A bit longer and I'd have been... Whew, I don't even want to think about it. Can you imagine what a terrible loss this would have been? But it's all right now. I'm safe, sound, and unscathed, ready to lead you to victory. Lady Jamandi's holding the line in the banquet hall. You know, the one where she had us gathered before. We need to make our way to her. And along the way, we'll try to save some of these dummies who are supposed to accompany us to the stolen lands. Speaking of dummies, take this ring. Quiet now, so that little fool doesn't hear us. She might try to steal it herself. It's magical. It'll protect you. You'll need it while you work to defend me.
I heard too many stories about cursed items that don't come off once you put them on, and got some undesirable side effects. I also did not forget about him coveting the exact same position I do. I pocketed the ring though to use it on someone else later. Thank you.
It's the end for you rats! Oh, it's you. Stay up from under my feet or I'll strike you down. Blood for Gorum!
Barbarians.
I think that's exactly how heroes should be.
Wait. On my mark. Actually, never mind. Caution is a virtue.
Oh, familiar faces. I hope you're not so frightened as to swing at every shadow. It's me, Jaethal. I don't recommend advancing down the hallway, assuming you value your life, of course. There were a few people with me, and you can see what happened to them.
And just how did they all end up dead while you don't seem to have a scratch?
I'll answer but briefly and just once. Further scares and explanations will wait until we aren't being hunted by a group of assassins. Deal? All right. I'm undead. These traps are deadly to the living, but they're harmless to me.
What do you mean undead? Really? Like zombies or skeletons or...
As I said, further explanations will wait until later. All you need to know right now is that we're on the same side, and we have to fight off a small army of hired assassins. Let's get to it.
Ah! Everything is so much fun with a little fire. What a night, huh? I thought I was all alone. It's good you're here. A bit boring. chasing fool assassins without anyone watching the show.
It's not fun at all. Many people have died for nothing.
I don't know where you're heading, but I'll be at the entrance to the main hall. I think I saw some guards there. Join me there, if you wish.
Grotus, I can sense your silhouette hovering over me. It won't be much longer. Soon we shall meet, O Lord of Oblivion.
Quit the act. Stand and fight, or I will really send you to your final rest.
I can't hear you. I'm being taken away into the darkness.
What's wrong?
I'm dying. I knew this expedition was doomed. Oh, Grotus.
Stop. You are not bleeding.
Oh, it seems you might be right. It seems I will live. I suppose I must postpone meeting my god, not for long, I'm sure. But while we remain in this transient world, Aaron is at your service.
Just get to the end of the line.
You, run and get an axe. You, bring more water. You, stay here and hold our defense. Those assassins are still around here somewhere. Aha! Some of our guests survived. Good. You need to get to the banquet hall and help Lady Jamandi. You'll have to run through the fire. We've almost put it out at the entrance, so your main concern should be to not inhale any smoke. Hold your breath and take the first right, then head straight down the hallway.
Fire doesn't frighten me, thanks to hell's blood running in my veins. I'll go ahead and wait for you on the other side. Catch up!
May Abadar keep you safe.
I prefer to put my fate into this bucket of water. Now, after me! On the way through, I saw someone trying to save soldiers and miserably failing. I decided to lend a hand. I'm going to need bodies to throw at that giant that's on its way to Lady Aldori.
Thank you for your valor and bravery. The enemy was strong, but you were stronger, and that means I made the right choice. Just as I thought, there were worthy leaders among you. I'm especially grateful to them for the courage and common sense they showed while defending the mansion. But this attack means we have even less time than I thought. Someone already knows of our plans and is acting against us. You'll begin your expedition immediately.
Lady Aldori, please, I know who arranged this attack. The vile king of Pitax, Iroveti. What's more, I know who among us works for him. Hey, you! Show everyone the ring you're wearing. You think I wouldn't recognize Iroveti's seal? That's why he wasn't killed. The bandits recognized him as one of their own by this signet ring.
I expected treachery with the ring, just not something with so much foresight. Luckily, such things don't matter as long as you expect treachery at all. Ring? What ring?
Lady Aldori, I saw it with my own eyes. The ring must be in his pocket. Search him and I'm sure...
Enough, Tartuccio. I'm still the one giving orders here. We won't be searching anyone. There's definitely a spy among us. But who? All I have is one word against another. I'm afraid you're both under suspicion.
I bet my life despise anyone but this man. I saw how he dealt with those creeps with my own eyes. A true warrior. I'd go with him through hell and high water. This purple crook, on the other hand. He's got the eyes of a spy, and the mug of a spy!
Lady Aldori, don't listen to this thick-headed barbarian. She doesn't know what she's talking about. During the attack, our leader showed his true colors. He forced us to break into the armory and rob it. And not just that. Upon finding the guards' salaries in the armory, He immediately pocketed it all.
I can count on one hand how many guards I have seen working today. They are clearly overpaid for their responsibilities.
I'll be the judge of how my guards have handled their responsibilities. Please return the money now.
Of course, theft is not to be condoned. But when the fire burns around you and you are but one step away from death, would it not be insane to worry about laws and rules? I see this not as a crime, but as a unique wisdom visiting us as we stood at the face of oblivion.
Nobody asked for his opinion, but I wasn't about to silence a voice that spoke in my defense.
There is a difference between initiative taken in battle and blatant arrogation. How can someone who disregards authorities be a leader himself?
Apparently, this one wasn't kept for her smarts.
What about that trick he pulled right before we came in here?
Oh?
He knew very well you were fighting the enemy, but instead of rushing to help you, he dallied as long as he could, dropping everything to save people from the fire, even though the guards were handling things just fine. He was obviously hoping to show up too late and find you already dead.
I wouldn't have saved them without a good reason. Dead soldiers are worthless, but the wounded could still help defend the mansion.
Cruel, but true.
It was perfectly reasonable, just the way a leader should think.
How could you say such a monstrous thing? Is that the way the hero of my book would talk? You sound more like a villain.
I detest the accusation.
Enough squabbling. I'm still not sure which of you I can trust. However, the risk of entrusting the whole affair to a spy is too great. Here's what we'll do. 2 teams will head out. That way, I'll know at least one group can be counted on to serve my interests in the stolen lands.
Lady Aldori, most of those who were to set off for the stolen lands have been killed. Those who yet live will require help. Please allow me to join the expedition.
I'm sad to lose such a talented warrior. But you're right, Valerie. They have greater need of you right now. Go, and may Abadar keep you. Which of the 2 teams would you prefer to accompany?
If Tartuccio allows, I would join his team. Forgive me, but I don't appreciate your willfulness.
Why do I feel like I dodged an arrow?
And I like our leader. What wisdom lies in minding orders, laws, and rules in the face of oblivion, knowing not whether you'll be alive tomorrow? I will go with his team.
I like how our leader does things. Efficient, and without unnecessary spiritual agonizing. I'll go with him.
Efficient? I'd say heartless. Would the protagonist of my book do such a thing? No. I guess I'd better go with Tartuccio.
As for me, I know neither of these 2. At least not well enough. And I have no wish to become an unwitting pawn to an unworthy leader. If Lady Jamandi allows, I'll remain in Restov and help mend the wounds this attack has inflicted. But who knows? The road may bring me to the stolen lands, but not yet.
I don't even need to think. I'm coming with this man. As for you, Purple Toad, just wait until we meet along the way. I'll be sure to hang your rotten spy guts from the trees.
We will find the tallest tree in the land.
All right, we have 2 teams. To avoid unnecessary conflict on the road, you'll each take a different route to the stolen lands. I'd like to believe you, but I know all too well how convincing traitors and spies can be. If you're truly innocent, I hope you can forgive me this precaution.
My forgiveness will be earned with you shouldering the cost of my new capital. Fear not, I shall come to collect.
While you're away, Keston will investigate the night's events and learn who in Restov is working for Patox. But you should know that it isn't just Patox we need to worry about. By my estimations, you have no more than 3 months. After that, any feats you accomplish will be pointless. And now, farewell. This battle was but the first ordeal along your path, and you overcame it as true champions of Restov. May the obstacles that follow also fall to your feet. Fear nothing, my friends, and return victorious.
So it came to be that I, Shao, set out to claim dominion with my own group. All things considered, it went excellently. All of them seemed skilled, and yet lacking either the ambition or the capability to lead instead of me.